Okay, so we have this debt problem. How do we get out of it? How do we solve it? And the typical answer from, I think, mainstream economists is, well, we're going to grow our way out of it. Here's your formula for growth. You all know it. We all learned this in the first week of economics class. And, GDP has four main components: consumption, investment, government spending, and net exports. So as Ed Koch used to say in New York, how am I doing? Well, you go through these. The consumer's basically flat on his back. A little bit of growth here and there. I know it was up 2.7% in the first quarter. But on the whole, the debt overhang is too great, too much credit card debt, too much mortgage debt. And there's some view, it's kind of hard to prove, that any uptick in consumer spending is the result of mortgage defaults. If you walk away from your mortgage, that might be a $1,000 a month raise, and you can go out and take your spouse out to dinner or something. So there's probably a little bit of that going on. But basically, we're not getting the consumption driver that we've always had in the past. Investment, yeah, a little bit of a few signs of life here, but again, investment is very much a function of consumption. Are you going to go out and build new plant and equipment and expand your offices and expand hardware and so forth if the consumer is not there to take up the goods and services you are offering? And the answer is at a certain point, no. So investment is linked closely to consumption. We'll stall out in time. Government is the big driver. Government is what got us through 2009, what got us through 2010. It's the one thing the government could control. They're very good at spending our money, as you know. So they did that, and that was the Keynesian multiplier, which actually empirically looks like a fraction. So it's a wealth destroyer. But in the short run, look, if you print $1 trillion and hand it out on street corners, you're going to get a little bit of growth. The problem with government is that it's now run into a political head wall between the Republican victories in the last election and the rise of the Tea Party and the rise of people like Ron Paul and Paul Ryan and others. There's a limit to that. Now, it's not the kind of limit I'd like to see. It's not the kind of limit that's going to solve our problem, but it is a limit that will prevent that from being as much of a driver of growth as it has been. So, if the consumer's flattish, investments petering out, government spending has hit the wall, what's left? Well, what's left is net exports, exports minus imports. And how do you drive net exports? You trash your currency. It's as simple as that. You basically try to devalue the dollar. And that's what's behind QE. That's what's behind QE2. That's what's behind low interest rates. Basically doing everything possible to trash the dollar relative to other currencies, to drive exports so Boeing can sell more jets and IBM can sell more services. And that's sort of the classic remedy. The only problem with this remedy is it's never worked. The track record of this is, we tried this in 1933. We were back in recession by 36. We tried it in 71. We then entered into the worst period of inflation since the Civil War. So the history of driving growth by trashing your currency is not a very encouraging one. You get these short-term upticks, and then you hit some kind of wall, whether it's inflation or we can actually make a case for deflation when the currency collapses severely enough. We'll come back to that.